have said that this defense is going to be more aggressive this year, which I don't know that that's possible. You guys have been a top 5 defense the past 4 seasons. Is that possible to be more aggressive?
I think it's always possible, you know. It's always possible, and I always say defense wins championships, you know. So it's going to start and end with us. We take that on our shoulders, that responsibility of trying, and we need to be better, you know. To say that last year's ending was hurtful, it was, you know. It sucks the way that it ended. It felt like we never even had a chance to really compete in that game, but what are ways that our defense could have been better in that game? You know, that's what I'm looking at, is how could I have been better for our team and our defense? And so I think we're for sure taking steps in the right direction right now. We're doing the tedious work right now of going out there on the field and in the weight room and putting the work in, because you don't just snap your fingers and you're back in that game, right? You got to take each step one step at a time, and so that's what we're doing right now.
That's 49ers linebacker Fred Warner recently talking about the urgency for the defense to improve. I'm not even sure, Peter, the 85 Bears would have had a chance in that NFC Championship game with no quarterback. No quarterback at all. Maybe in 85, but not today, where quarterback is so important. If you don't have one, you're done. I'm impressed the 49ers actually didn't completely just fold the tents and get blown off the field. They still kept coming. They still kept trying. But they really were playing with one hand tied behind their back. Now, they've lost another defensive coordinator to a head coaching job, but they have Steve Wilks, who is a great defensive mind and a guy that has experience leading teams, both the Cardinals and then last year as the interim coach of the Panthers. I have no concerns at all about the 49ers defense. My concern with the 49ers every year is who's going to play quarterback, and is he going to stay healthy? And if he is healthy, is he going to be effective enough to run that offense the way Kyle Shanahan wants?
Honestly, you know, I think when you talk about the quarterback's health in San Francisco, I think it's a little bit of, kind of fake news if everybody wonders, geez, can Brock Purdy stay healthy for a full season? I mean, that was about as fluky an injury. I mean, and it happens. It could happen to Charles Atlas. These things happen when you're playing that position, your arm is in motion, and you get hit a certain way. I get it. But, Brock Purdy's a guy who also started 47, 48 games, not always behind a great offensive line at Iowa State. And he's not a terribly big guy either. So I don't really have a lot of fear about Brock Purdy's health. I don't think this is Jimmy Garoppolo revisited. I think the 49ers are going to get Brock Purdy back probably full speed by, pick a day, August 1st, August 10th, August 15th. I don't know. But I think they're going to have a full, complete, healthy quarterback in Brock Purdy, and we'll see where he takes him. And look, a lot of people wonder, well, where does this leave Trey Lance? Because obviously you've also got Sam Darnold, and Kyle Shanahan's playing the best guy. He has proven that. So to me, this is going to be a really, really interesting year, but I'm not sure it's going to be as dramatic as you'd think, because I don't think Kyle Shanahan is thinking at the first sign of trouble, let's get Brock Purdy out of there.
Oh, I don't disagree with you at all. It just feels like they're cursed. It's always something at the quarterback position. And every time it feels like they have something going, something goes wrong. And I just wonder what the plan is behind Brock Purdy. I feel like they're trying to send out signals that Sam Darnold could maybe supplant Trey Lance. Is Trey Lance available to be traded? I think that window's closed, number one, because they're going to want too much to save face. And number two, there's really no seats out there for him. But the defense is not my concern. I look at that defense and I say Nick Bosa is the anchor. They've got Fred Warner. They've got Dre Greenlaw. They've got great players. They added Javon Hargrave via free agency. Defense isn't the issue for the 49ers. It's the offense. And, their defense could be better this year with the arrival of Hargrave and Eric Armstead still there, and everything that they're doing to build that defense around a Nick Bosa, who's still waiting for that massive second contract that he has well earned during his time in the NFL. So Peter, I see in the NFC, the AFC, who the hell knows? It's easier to pick out the non-contenders in the AFC than the list of contenders. There's so many of them. In the NFC, it's the 49ers and the Eagles. And the 49ers may be the better team if they have Brock Purdy all year long and he continues to develop the way he was developing last year.
And look, I think you're right about who stands at the top, but I just always say this at this time of year, that when is the last time that the new season was 90% a carbon copy of the old season? The 12th of never. That doesn't happen. So something is going to happen. I think it might be Detroit playing in a diminished NFC North. It might be Seattle. You never know. Can Geno Smith put the magic together again? They got a great new receiver, apparently, in Jackson Smith and Jigba. They got a better running game. I mean, I'll tell you, the Seattle Seahawks really fascinate me. And I will not be surprised if we're in week 17 and we're still talking about a pennant race in the NFC West between Seattle and San Francisco. Will not surprise me at all. So I agree with you as we sit here on May 19th that it is the 49ers and the Eagles vying for the Super Bowl. But somebody's going to come along, and by Thanksgiving, we're going to say, wow, where did Team X come from? Where did the Atlanta Falcons come from? And whoever, I don't know, but it's going to be somebody.
Well, on Thanksgiving night, we'll see the 49ers visit the Seahawks on NBC. And then 1 week later, the Seahawks visit the Cowboys on a Thursday night. So within the span of 7 days, great opportunities fairly late in the season to get a look at where the Seahawks are. And the NFL making the bet that the Seahawks are going to be pretty good, as you pointed out earlier. They don't have faith in the Falcons. They do have faith in the Seattle Seahawks.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.